So with the wonder of technology, managed to look up on our cell phones and find out that's the USS Vinson, Vinson.
Hey roamers, welcome back to Roaming with Rosie. I'm Linda. Jamie's back there working on the renovation. We are back in Arizona and we are back to finishing Rosie's renovation. It finally went below 100 degrees. We're almost at mid-October right now. However, we just heard it's supposed to go back over 100 degrees within a couple days. So they said at that point we'll have broken every record for number of days over 100. So when it's not this time of year, actually this time of year should be nice already, but people flock to Arizona for the beautiful desert, the sunshine, and all of our natural areas during the winter, but not during the summer, and it looks like summer's going on through October. For those of us who have to stick it out here during the summer, any escape that we can get is a big win for us because this is hard to live through for 6 months of the year. So this summer we stopped all renovation on the motorhome and we took off just with paint splattered carpeting, half painted cabinets, whatever, any escape that we could get. And on this episode, we're gonna tell you all about our trip to San Diego. Kind of miraculously at the end of August, and probably something to do with COVID, we were able to find a really awesome campground space in Chula Vista at the Chula Vista KOA, which is actually called San Diego Metro KOA, but it's in Chula Vista, and we grabbed that spot and took off. San Diego, California is just a 5-hour drive from Phoenix in a car. In a motorhome, it takes a little bit longer, especially because we got to climb up out of the valley, but to get from the Sonoran Desert in 115 degrees to the Pacific Ocean, it's well worth it, right? We went to hook up and something blew, and I'm gonna let Jamie stop painting for a second and come over here and tell you all what happened. So here's Jamie to tell you what happened. Sweaty. It's supposed to be cooler right now. That's why we're working on the RV.
Yeah. Basically what happened was we drove out to San Diego and I went and plugged in. This is with the multi-pluses wired into the system. And what ended up happening was when I plugged in the shore power, everything shut down. And then I looked at the multi-pluses and basically it said system overload. So I tried looking at what the issue was and couldn't really figure it out. So what I ended up doing was unwiring it again and put everything back. I took the multi-pluses out of the equation, made it the way it was when we initially bought the coach with no inverters or anything like that. So we were able to plug in and everything worked and we enjoyed our trip. But once we left, it was not to be.
Not to be an enjoyable drive home.
Not at all.
And you may want to go back and check out that same episode right before this where we explain what happened then on the way home, which was pretty awful. So
yeah, it was hotter than it is now.
It was 119
degrees driving through Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done with you. You can go back and work on the paint.
Yeah, I know. I got to finish painting.
So, we managed to get connected to shore power, got the air conditioning on, and enjoyed the evening at the San Diego Metro KOA. Then the next morning we got up and we headed out for our first stop of our tour of San Diego. First on our list to visit was the Point Loma Lighthouse at the Cabrillo National Monument. And again, our America the Beautiful pass from the national parks got us in. So that's a pass that we purchased quite a while ago, and it's been awesome. Because it was still during the pandemic, most indoor areas remained closed, but they always had a ranger stationed outside. I think there was volunteers at the time that we were there to answer questions and hand out brochures. One thing to note, this is a trash-free park. It means you pack it in, pack it out, just as if you were camping. There are no trash cans there.
So hey roamers, Jamie and Linda back at you here again. Today we're at Cabrillo National Monument, the spot where Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo landed back in 1542.
And he would have been the first European to set foot on the west coast of the Americas. He had a crew of Europeans as well as
Central American Indians.
So we don't know if that crew came along willingly or not. They had 3 ships, which we'll go look at some more information about. And they were looking for a route to Asia, which they did not find. And they were looking for gold,
Right.
which they did not find.
Right, and this is 50 years before Columbus.
After.
Or, I mean, 50 years after Columbus.
Columbus.
Correct. And where they believe he landed was, if you look at those white buildings down on that finger of land, they believe that's where he landed. And then across the way is the naval air base, and then also
Pretty much everything surrounding this point. You actually drive into the naval station to
Right.
get here. So
Right.
it was a little bit strange because there's gates there and it doesn't say anything about the monument on the signs outside the gates.
until you get past the gates, and then probably about 100 yards past that, then you see there's the sign for the National Monument. So
This is the original Point Loma Lighthouse. It was operational for 35 years, something like that.
yeah, the problem was because of how high it is up on this point, that it became where you couldn't see the lighthouse because of clouds and fog. So we ended up building another one in a lower elevation.
It's pretty. So this is a rain catch basin. Kind of handy. I don't think they had concrete. Maybe they did. Did they have concrete in 1850? Building closed. This is the assistant keeper's quarters.
The thing that's kind of cool about this lighthouse, unlike other lighthouses, is that the lighthouse is actually attached to a house. So you don't go to a different structure to live in. It's actually part of the lighthouse. I believe this is the kitchen because I can see all these kitchen utensils up in the window, and unfortunately because of COVID, it's closed. see it, but there's a big aircraft carrier out there. Doesn't even look like it's moving, but it is. And then if you look down at the bottom down here, you can see the other lighthouse.
There's a thing that you can look up on what ships are out and around.
It says 70 on the side. The number probably tells you which one it is. So with the wonder of technology, we managed to look up on our cell phones and find out that's the USS Vinson. Vinson.
Here comes the chopper again. Is that an Apache?
Not sure. Can't tell looking at it from the side. I don't think so. See the hole where you can see through the ship? Towards the back, you see that big gaping hole?
Yeah.
Okay, you can see people in there walking around.
Oh. Does that close all the way up?
Yeah, it closes up.
So it's like cramped, but it's a bit lower, and then they can drive vehicles into it, I bet.
And you store planes down there too, I think.
And then don't they have like an elevator that they go
Yeah,
up?
I think so.
When it's next to the airport, you can go, oh yeah, that is kind of as long as a runway.
Yeah.
The Tidepools that we're going down to see right now are also part of the Cabrillo monument. So your admission gets you the ability to come down here to the Tidepools. The walls surrounding the Tidepools here are really cool. It almost looks like it's been done on purpose by people. And they're obviously eroding really quickly. But it says this would have been 3,500 feet underwater at the time when it was being formed. And there's 7 layers, like a 7-layer cake. Kind of way I think a cake.
Hey roamers, thanks for watching.
Hey, be sure to subscribe and ring that bell.
That way you'll be notified each time we put out a new video.
See you next time. We'll still be in San Diego.